Finally received an email from the detective, and she basically said, I don't have enough evidence to bring assault charges against this woman, even though there was my own video which clearly showed she'd barged into me, even though in her emails to me she said that the church camera up there on the roof saw that my right foot was in the snowbank. In other words, my right foot was off the sidewalk. In other words, I was basically off the sidewalk myself. But no, all of this evidence which clearly showed that I had given Margot Ellis plenty of room to walk past me without touching me at all, and yet she chose to barge into me and knock me on my back right about there. Basically she just didn't want to deal with it, is what I'm thinking. She just didn't want to have to handle that case, or who knows, maybe Margot Ellis is a friend of hers or something. Maybe she was protecting Margot Ellis, but at minimum, at rock bottom minimum, she was, in my view, negligent and incompetent, to say the least, but may well have been trying to protect Margot Ellis from the consequences of her actions. So anyway, hard to believe, eh?
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
No.
Well, I can show you the legal letter that I received, which accuses me of the crime of blasphemous libel. It's actually on the internet. I took a photograph of it and posted it to the internet. It's from Stikeman Elliott, barristers and solicitors, litigation lawyer, Maitre Marc Andre. Oh, that's interesting. Well, do you know Marc Andre Coulombe?
Nope.
Okay, well, they got about 500. They got 500 lawyers. Yeah, he wasn't a lawyer 30 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, the UUA, the Unitarian Universalist Association, the American head office, hired Stikeman Elliott, barristers and solicitors, to accuse me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel for allegedly making unfounded and vicious allegations to the effect that ministers of the association engage in such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. That's an exact quote from the letter. Essentially what it comes down to is I have blogged about certain cases.
I'm not following all this. I'm really sorry.
Well, it's a bit complicated, I guess.
I really don't want to hear anymore. I'm sorry.
Are you a member of the church?
Not yet.
Right. Well, that's the problem is members of the church don't really want to hear this.
I don't want to hear any of it.
Right. You prefer to be ignorant of it.
No, I don't prefer to be ignorant of it.
But if you don't want to hear it, you want to be ignorant of it. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think if you believe in the principles of the church, you need to hear about it. So this woman, I don't know if the video actually recorded it, but she basically looked stunned, when she saw my picket signs. She read them in full. So she read, Unitarian Universalist misuse blasphemy law to cover up and deny pedophilia and rape. And I said, yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Based on seeing her reaction. It's clear that she was having a difficult time believing it. She comes back, she says, I don't believe it. Which I suppose is fair enough in the sense that, she could use a bit more convincing. She doesn't have to believe it right off the bat just because it's on my picket signs, any more than I have to believe what Stikeman Elliott writes in a bullshit cease and desist demand letter. But nonetheless, she should be open to having proof presented to her that shows, well, actually it's true. In other words, she should be open to coming around to actually believing what's on my picket signs after